Welcome to our official League Championship Series preview show right here on the Kanika Sports Show, everybody. The Final Four is set. We are going to be breaking down all the matchups. We are going to be looking at the markets, poly market to be exact, who is favored. But first, if this is your first time here, please do us a solid and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring that alarm bell as well for our mascot, Frexy. She just does love attention, everybody. Let's move our attentions to the National League, Nika. We have a fascinating series. The Brewers are hosting the Los Angeles Dodgers, the best record in the National League versus the defending champions. I mean, it's kind of like a dream matchup in that instance, isn't it? You have like the best from last year going up against the best from this year, at least in terms of regular season.
Not according to the mainstream media. They want a Yankees-Dodgers again. So.
Well, they're not going to get their wish. They might get half of their wish this year if the Dodgers have anything to say about it.
Sure.
Now, I thought it was funny because while the Brewers were having to take care of business last night against the Cubs, and they did take care of business against the Cubs, the Dodgers were at home having a practice yesterday, awaiting their fate. Would they be able to sleep in their own beds another night, or were they going to have to get on a flight and head to Milwaukee? And they got the latter, Nika. They are taking that flight to Milwaukee. And, by the way, do we know if they're staying at the Pfister Hotel or not?
Most likely, but mine is Mookie Betts. He's not staying there.
This is hilarious. It's October, too. I mean,
I know. Double whammy.
If you don't know the history of the Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee, all the Major League Baseball teams apparently stay there. And apparently this place is haunted. There's tons of stories you can Google and look up. Bryce Harper among them, who swore that his wardrobe was taken out and laid out on his bed while he was sleeping.
Yeah, his room got tossed or something like that.
Man, there must be some good pranksters in this hotel, or it's truly haunted, everybody.
I will go with the ghosts.
But because of this, Mookie Betts refuses to stay there. He says, nope.
I'm out.
And every time the Dodgers go to Milwaukee, apparently he gets an Airbnb, at least as of a few years ago. I don't know if he's found like a permanent host, but that person's probably happy because they get Mookie Betts this week.
Sure.
Maybe next week too, depending on if this series goes the distance or not. But the Dodgers going to Milwaukee for the National League Championship Series. Can you believe it? The Brewers hosting the NLCS.
I believe it.
Well, we saw them down the stretch, and, I feel like, again, we said it with the Blue Jays. We said it with the Cubs a little bit. And I'll say my Cubs point really quick. Craig Counsell this last night after the game, was like saying how great it was for the city to get 5 playoff games. And it's like, see, it just kind of leads into that idea that they were just happy making the playoffs. And much like the Blue Jays beating the Yankees, here we had the Brewers flying the L flag, which, if you don't know, if you're not a Cubs fan, the Cubs fly the white W flag with the blue W on it after their home wins while they sing Go Cubs Go. And here you have their division rivals now, the Brewers, sort of flying the flag in their face, if you will, and rubbing it in that they won this first ever playoff series between these two teams, which are separated by just 90 miles.
Well, they won the bragging rights.
They did win the bragging rights this year. You got to give them that. And now they get a chance to take on the defending champs. And this is where it really matters if you're a Milwaukee Brewers fan, because beating the Cubs is fine and dandy and all, but you don't get anything for that.
No.
You don't get a pennant to hang up next year in your stadium.
No, you get bragging rights.
Let alone a World Series ring and trophy. So if the Brewers want to have a season that is remembered for anything more than flying the L flag in the face of your opponents, then they better get ready to face the Dodgers, everybody, because the Brewers owned the Dodgers this year during the regular season. They won 3 games at their place. They won 3 games in Milwaukee. And
they swept the Dodgers this whole season.
They did. But I want to remind everyone, my grade school math teacher and my basketball coach, everybody, Mr. Downing, shout out to Mr. Downing. He always said that it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a season. Even back in grade school, you know, we had a playoff game against a team and we played each team in our division twice back then, and we had swept the team, you know, and he said it's tough to sweep a team 3 times in a season. So that's a word of warning from my 6th grade math teacher to the Brewers' ears, everybody.
This is a very different team.
The Dodgers team is very different, which is another reason why the Brewers need to be cautious here.
Right. That is a word of caution.
We saw that graph on Polymarket. It's there for a reason that way. And that's because right after that, the reason the Dodgers start spiking upwards is because Max Muncy came back, Blake Snell came back and started looking like a different pitcher all of a sudden, like economical, throwing a lot more strikes, walking less hitters. Roki Sasaki's back to throwing almost 100 miles an hour all of a sudden and looks like he could be one of the most elite closers in the game, at least this year in the postseason.
True, but Dodgers also are capable of playing down to their competition, and they are looking at the Brewers as a underdog.
I just don't think they are.
Yeah, okay.
If they were, they would have played down to the Reds, and they just smoked the Reds. You know, if they were looking down at their competition, they would have lost to the Phillies. They won 2 games at the Phillies' place.
I know.
So they're more than capable of going into Milwaukee and winning both of these first 2 games.
They are.
So the Brewers need to get ready for that. And by the way, one guy that I didn't mention that they didn't face on the mound the last time they played him, Shohei Ohtani, the game 1 starter. And I don't think a lot of these guys have ever faced him. So does that give the Dodgers more of an edge in this series?
Yeah.
I would say yes as well. They didn't see Roki Sasaki in the regular season pitching up to the standard that he's been pitching lately.
They should be looking at a lot of film at the moment.
They better get ready for war.
Yeah.
And this Dodgers team is focused right now. Since this middle of the September point, you know, you could see it's almost like once they knew the Padres weren't going to catch them for the division, like I said, the monkey was off their back and they started playing like without any care in the world. And that's when you're playing your best baseball, when you're not thinking. If a journalist ever asks a baseball player, what were you thinking when you got that hit? You'll know that the answer is bullshit, because a batter doesn't have time to think when he's up there. He has to react. So there's no thinking going on. And any hitter that says otherwise is just full of it and giving you a media training answer. I mentioned it a second ago. The Dodgers already proved that they can also win on the road in tough environments in the playoffs with this team, with this roster. So now will they? That's the question I have, is like they went from Philly to LA, or I'm sorry, they went from LA to Philly, then back to LA, and now they have to go back to Milwaukee. And I think secretly, you can't tell me that they weren't hoping that they would get to stay home and have home field advantage in this series. And now they have to go to Milwaukee instead. So it's one of those things where it's the disadvantage of waiting, right? Is like you're always going to hope for one thing more than another. I don't care. Now I know they're a really focused team. So having said all that, Nika, who are you taking in this series?
Dodgers.
How many games?
I would say 5 games.
5 games.
Yeah.
So that means you're going to have them winning at least 1 in Milwaukee and all 3
at home,
or 2 in Milwaukee and 2 at
yeah.
home out of 3. Okay. I'm taking the Dodgers as well. I think it's going to go 7.
No, that's good.
I do. But that's just going to be Heartbreak City for the Brewers crowd in that game 7 if the Dodgers walk out of there winners. Because you just never know when you're going to get that close again. But when I said at the beginning of this show that I had a heart choice and a head choice, and that I was going to kind of go with a melding of the two, this is kind of what I meant by that. You know, Seattle is my heart choice, and I just can't put the Dodgers out of my mind choice. You know, that's who my head is saying will win this series. So having said that, with both of us, your World Series prediction is Dodgers Blue Jays. My World Series prediction is Mariners Dodgers. And that means we will not get Brewers Mariners, which is my dream matchup for this at this point. You know, I would take the Cubs if they were alive. I would take the Padres if they were alive, but they're not here. They're deceased. We can't talk about them. And when you have this choice of two teams that have never made it before, or never won at all before, I should say, the Brewers have made it in '82, but that's the dream matchup I want. And I just don't think we're going to get it. I think we're going to get Dodgers versus Mariners, and Nika is going with Dodgers Blue Jays. So there will not be a Cinderella World Series this year. There will not be two teams that have never won it to face each other. Unlikely, yes. And, well, I'll wait and see how these games go before I make any predictions at all about how the rest of the postseason is going to go, because my track record sucks so far this year. I'm 3-5, I think, through 8 rounds of matchups.
Okay, I don't keep a tally. So
the matchups we got correct were the Dodgers over the Reds, the Dodgers over the Phillies, and you took the Brewers over the Cubs.
Yes.
I did not, so you got 3 there. I took the Mariners over the Tigers. Did you as well?
Yes.
So you got an extra. So you're 5-4 maybe, and I am 3-5. You're 4-4. I'm 3-5. So Nika 500, Kenny Time under 500. L for love. Is that what the L flag was for from Milwaukee? The L for love. Oh, I got it now. Okay.
You got it. It took you a second.
It didn't go for loser. How silly of me.
Yeah, exactly.
How silly of me. Okay, well, this was the Championship Series prediction show here on the Kanika Sports Show. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully you made it to the end. Enjoy the start of the Championship Series tonight, and we'll be posting throughout the week our thoughts about these games. Make sure you are subscribed so you never miss a minute, never miss a post. It never ends here in the world of Kanika Sports, everybody.